वेलकम टू द सेकेंड एपिसोड ऑफ नो योर ऑथर सीरीज। कई सारे ऐसे चीज़ें हैं, कई सारी ऐसी कॉन्वर्सेशंस हैं जो हम करना चाहते हैं पर कर नहीं पाते हैं फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ रीजंस। वन बीइंग हमारे पास लोग नहीं हैं बात करने के लिए, अदर बीइंग लोग होते हुए भी ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं बात कर सकते। ऑल ऑफ अस सडनली स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग अबाउट बात करो मुझसे, मैसेजेस कर रहे हैं, एंड वेरी फ्यू एक्चुअली वेंट आउट टू पिक अप द फोन, कॉल देयर लव्ड वंस। But talking about someone, talking about an author, क्योंकि the series is called Know Your Author, I am going to talk to someone today who has written an amazing book called, मैं बता दूं कि वो बताएंगे, Lost and Found at 35। या सो जो बुक के प्रोटोगनिस्ट हैं दैट इज़ अर्जुन। वो जो हैं वो 35 की एज में अपने आप को खोजते हैं। कुछ पॉजिटिव चीज़ों के बारे में, वैसे ही कुछ और साइकोलॉजी के बारे में, स्पिरिचुअलिटी के बारे में, बुक्स के बारे में वी आर गोइंग टू talk about in the next few minutes. Stay here, it is going to be a sure delight.
Hi,
Perfect. Hi Ankit, how are you?
very well. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm good. This is the second episode of RJ Ashna's Know Your Author, and like the name suggests, it's about knowing the author, knowing someone who's written a brilliant book, which has a lasting impression on our minds. But who is the person behind that book? That's the whole intent of this show. So here we have Ankit Jam, who's a certified clinical hypnotherapist, neurolinguistic programming coach with more than a decade's experience of L&D in a leading consulting firm. And amidst all this, he's also the founder of आओ खिलाएं, जिसके बारे में भी थोड़ी देर बाद चर्चा करेंगे. Ankit, these were a few feathers on your cap, which I shared it with our viewers. The ground is open to you. Please introduce yourself. Who is Ankit Jham?
Thank you. That puts me under a lot of pressure. Right now, I look at myself and I see a bald head, and I'm also trying to come to the reality that is this really Ankit Jham who he was? But yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I've been very excited to do this since morning, and when we spoke, really very excited. Thank you for putting a quick introduction all together. Now, that's exactly what I tried doing in my humble attempt. I work with a consulting firm in the space of learning and development. I run a small practice to help people struggling with depression, stress disorders, with other fellow psychiatrists and psychologists, where people can call us. It's called Speak Up. um, we also started what is called as Ao Khilai 4 years back. It's a social initiative where we feed people, and we've been feeding people, provide stationary medical help, natural calamity crisis. And at this point of time, we're running a Ao Khilai Corona helpline where anyone from any walk of
Amazing.
life and any place in India can call us for anything. And we set up a supply chain and make sure that the ration, food, medicine is supplied directly to the individual's residence. That's what I do. And yes, by the grace of Almighty, with the forces being upon me, in the month of January, I published my first book. It is called as Lost and Found at 35. And it's been a wonderful experience talking about the book. And yeah, book has been getting excellent reviews and great response. So that's how
I
life has been.
Life has been good, and we need to know about Arjun's life, lost and found at 35. So I was telling all the listeners out there how I found myself at the age of 29. We have all had our share of experiences at different stages of life, but I'm pretty sure about the fact that my life or anyone else's life is a bit different than what Arjun was facing. So first, tell us more about the book, more about
Sure,
Arjun. What did he lose? What did
sure.
he find at the age of 35?
So Arjun as a person, I think if I were to honestly say that a part of Arjun stays within all of us. That normal, simple, confused character, at times depressed and at times severely depressed. So, how the story takes off is one unfortunate night, in a severe attack of depression. Arjun tries to commit suicide by cutting his nerves, but he doesn't die because life had expected something else out of him. He lives. But that is also the moment where he realizes that there is more to life. picks up the bag, and somewhere around 3 a.m. in the morning, takes a bus and goes to Ladakh. So while he's traveling to Ladakh, he meets some six passengers, six people, and they teach him different things. So the culmination of book is that one way to look at depression is through medication, which is equally important. But the other way to look at depression, mental disorders, is through building a lifestyle which is built on passion. So if you read the book, you realize that there are four essential elements of which are rooted in positive psychology, which is the ability to find a passion which puts you into a natural state of trance, which science would call it as optimal experience and something like a flow experience. You find that passion and then you start pursuing it. That is exactly the second P of the book is pursuing passion is not enough because you have to learn the passion so you understand the process behind the passion. Okay, and you're a perfect example. We would know that this is what I want to do, but it's not enough to know. You have to do it over a couple of years for it to sink into your psyche, and then comes the art and craft of it. That you learn the craft which you love. When you go through passion, you go through pursuance, you go through process, then ultimately a large part of your life answers the question, which is the most difficult question: what is the purpose of life? When people continue to pursue a passion and they continue to refine themselves, purpose dawns upon them. The story of Arjun was exactly that. Serendipity or providence or whatever we may want to call it as, he meets these six people and realizes that this is who he is, this is what he wanted to do, and hence this is exactly what his purpose is. So that's exactly what Lost and Found at 35 is.
Lovely. So, Ankit, talking about passion, we've known you as a natural storyteller, which I know goes without saying because the way you were describing the book, and you ran us through Arjun's life, we could actually relate to it in some or the other manner. Your passion for finding meaning, fulfillment, your passion, your passion towards spirituality, towards psychology, shows very, very well in the book. So January 2020 is when the book released. So let's take a
Yeah.
small flashback. Let's go back. How and when did you start writing the book? What inspired you to write the book? This being your first book, and I am an avid reader. I hold a very special place for all the authors for this first book. So how did this thing happen? How did you think of, okay, I'm gonna write and I'm gonna publish a book?
Uh, See, honestly, I think a book is made one while you are living your life, and then comes a one random silly moment when you realize that this is the moment when I will start writing the book. So while I was growing up, specifically for the last 7 years, I pursued a lot of passions myself. I was a marathon runner. I did theater apart from the job. So I realized that passion has this uplifting power, and it doesn't let you fall in the highs and lows and the ebbs and flows of life. Then I researched and I read psychology. So the topic of passion and what it offers to people, I felt that is not understood right in the right sense, at least in the Indian context. So that story and that problem statement stayed with me. The idea of writing a book honestly came in a random silly moment, like an epiphany, like an intuit. I was sitting at the dining table and I told my wife that, a friend has written a
Uh-huh.
book and I think that there is a book in me also. She looked at me and she asked me, so what's holding you back? And honestly, I had no answer. I said, what's holding me back? You say, I don't know what's holding me back. Maybe I don't have a story. I don't want to sound like a preachy discourse guru. So I said, okay, so you can build a story. And that moment, I took out a tissue paper. I wrote 4 words on it. The 4 words were passion, pursue, process, and purpose. And I knew that
All
this
four
was the
P's.
first book. Yes. These were the first 4 words. They came to me somehow. And I realized that this is exactly what I've done, whether it was pursuing marathon, whether it was doing theater, whether it was pursuing charity. These were my areas of passion, which I pursued with a lot of interest, learned the craft, and then they've defined as some kind of purpose. You say, what better book to write about this? After that, it was a question of basic hygiene. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't writing another motivational discourse. So story was important. And a part of you has figured rightly. I've always been a storyteller. The mind always thinks stories. The mind always learns through stories. And then the story started to evolve. When Arjun lived in me, I lived in Arjun. There were days when I spoke to Arjun as if I was sitting in my car. I recorded my own voice that I was talking to Arjun. And then a large part of the stories and the recollections of what goes through Arjun's life came through how I'd coached people, how we had spoken to people about their depression, how I'd heard stories about suicide attempts and what their struggles were, their family issues. And I think all the people in the last few years I had met and I had trained, unconsciously they contributed their stories to this book. And Arjun was, he was born on that night.
So talking about Arjun, let me ask an out of syllabus question here.
Yeah.
Is Arjun around? Or was Arjun around when you were writing the book?
See,
An actual
literally,
person.
literally, he's not, right? There is no person. But let me also tell you that metaphorically, he's everywhere. I wish I could show you messages where I've been told that
Mm-hmm.
I've tried committing suicide and this is my story. I have ran away from my house and I went to Ladakh and this is my story. I've had this problem with my family and this is my story. I've received messages which said that, Ankit, after reading your book, I started to paint. After reading your book, I started to play the piano. After reading your book, I've
Wow.
reconciled with the idea of forgiveness. After reading your book, I've started to live better. Uh, when these messages are, and they're coming from all genders, and I only see Arjun in them because every individual has had a fight or a battle of existence, of identity, of self-image, and the question which we've been avoiding, that what makes me happy and how do I live fulfilling life, is the most existential crisis. And people who found some peace, they found peace just like you in doing radio jockeying apart from being a chartered accountant. And that is
Yeah.
exactly how life has to be. Hence, if you look at it from a very clinical point of view, it means that you can establish a structure or a routine of life which is conducive to increasing the right kind of hormones, giving you the right kind of positive thoughts, and increases the ability for you to cope up with stress. So, and that exactly has been my fund of life. I write about 10:30 in the night till 1:30 after working for
Yeah.
10, 12 hours a day. And I bet you now that I feel that I've got a new lease of life. I feel extremely excited every week into life. And that is exactly what fulfillment is. So that's the long answer to the short question you had asked.
But no, but that's an amazing answer because that brings me to my next question. Talking about writing and talking about lockdown, since a lot of us say that we have a little more time, a little extra
Yeah,
time amidst this
yeah.
lockdown. I don't know how and why, but if we have this extra time, how are you utilizing this time? uh, because we would definitely want to know your plans for the second book, your plans for the third book, because I know, the second one is already there. And I saw your recent social media post. You started writing the third book, the first
Yeah,
2,000 words of the
yeah,
third book. So tell us more about it.
yeah. Yeah, so I think lockdown for me and for anyone who's creative and who's found passion is blessing in disguise for two reasons. It not only gives you time, but it's a great escape from a compulsive thought, which is to continuously keep thinking about Corona. We've all, to some extent, have been obsessed by the media and the information around, and we continue to think about the virus. Will it happen to me? Will it happen to someone else? What will be my coping mechanism? And uh, the rule of life at this point of time is, and I tell people that देखो चिंता करना तो permanent है, ठीक है? आपको worry तो करना ही करना है. All you can do is decide what do you want to worry about.
Ah,
If
perfect.
people are able to make that conscious choice, that what are my causes of worry and what are my battles, and I want to pick my battles, they'll be safer and they'll be saner. Otherwise, the mind is going to spiral and get sucked into a murky water and will fall for compulsive worrying. So people who have passion, have identified something, they get the opportunity to pursue it, and they get a great escape route. So, for example, this Friday evening, I was writing the first chapter of my third book, and I wrote continuously in a state of flow, like a person is in a meditative trance, and may the forces keep that meditative trance as it is for 2.5 hours. Okay. I came out of that 2.5 hours and I realized not even once I thought about the world around. Not even once I thought about the negativity around. Not even once I thought about that हमको भी कोरोना हो सकता है. And not even once that fear was boggling me. And that is the power of upliftment of pursuing a passion. And that's exactly how I pursued the last 3 months of lockdown. Uh, a few hours of work, a few hours of helping my family. I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, so I try and make sure that she gets some time, as much as she can, as much as I can afford to. And 9:30 to 10:30 is the Aao Khilai Corona helpline time. We try and see what calls have come, and we do a diligence of how help is to be provided. 10:30 onwards every weekend is the writing time. So yeah, the third book has started. Second book got over in about 3 months. I started writing the second book, I think somewhere in the month of Feb end or March. And last week, I concluded 76,000 words. Second book is on alcoholism, trauma, and death and spirituality. It's again a story, but a very strong input and an opinion on how society looks at alcoholics and does not see their trauma and the past behind that. It's also dedicated to my brother. I lost him a few years back to alcohol with a liver disorder, so the book is dedicated to him. And the third book has started, for which yeah, वो कहानी तो मैं अभी नहीं बता सकता.
नहीं उसे सस्पेंस ही रखते हैं, but loads and loads of best wishes to you, Ankit, for your second
Thank
book
you.
and your third book. We're all eagerly waiting for that. But talking about being accepted about things around, or not thinking about the world, like you said that when you're writing you're not thinking about the world. So amidst all this, let's talk about Aao Khilai, because the name in itself is very pleasing to the ears, and the intent is very crystal clear. It talks about feeding the underprivileged and
Yeah.
the less fortunate. So how did Aao Khilai happen? How does it work? And what's in pipeline for that
Sure.
scene?
So I think Aao Khilai is the best thing which has happened to my life. And in the year 2016, I was sitting at home. I think maybe it was an off or something, and I was eating something, and I had the sudden feeling of gratitude. Like everyone would go through a feeling of gratitude. जिंदगी कुछ और भी हो सकती थी, जिंदगी कुछ और नहीं हुई, जिंदगी अच्छी है, सब ठीक चल रहा है. So then there was a point when I asked, so what? You said that gratitude, what does it mean? You can be thankful, but you can, the thankfulness has to lead to something. So I asked myself, कि अभी तू क्या करेगा? अभी तू gratitude ही express करता रहेगा क्या? So then the thought resulted into, I said, okay यार, खाना खिलाते हैं लोगों को. So मैं अपनी प्लेट को देख रहा था, and I said that क्या कर सकते हैं? I said, ये खाना खिलाओ सबको. कितने सारे लोग हैं जिनको खाना नहीं मिलता है, जितने सारे लोग हैं जो खुद खा के कमा नहीं पाते हैं. And that was the thought. That day, I ordered some 20 thalis from Haldiram's, and with my family, we ventured out to distributed food. While coming back, I realized, ठीक है, अच्छा लगा. अब क्या? अब बस खत्म क्या? अब is charity or is a good deed or a random act of kindness just a one-time event? So that day evening, I decided that, boss, this has to be lifestyle. जैसे आप पिक्चर देखने जाते हैं, जैसे आप दोस्तों से मिलते हैं, you party, you do shopping, it's part of your lifestyle, right? Similarly, giving or expressing gratitude through giving has to be part of your lifestyle. So isko install karo. And exactly at 11 o'clock, I conceptualized Aao Khilai. I called up my sister, she gave us the name. The concept was very simple: we will feed people. It took some years, probably a year and a half, to understand and evolve the model. Long story cut short, at this point of time, pre-lockdown at least, we've got Aao Khilai in Delhi, which is Dwarka. We've got Aao Khilai in Gurgaon. We did something in Faridabad. We've got Aao Khilai in Jaipur. We've got Aao Khilai in Bangalore. The model is very simple. Elderly who cannot earn for themselves, and kids who are being taught, and mentally and physically handicapped. These people will be given food. So we picked up these shelter homes and these old age homes, and we started giving fresh cooked meals, such as in Dwarka Shelter Home, or there is a free Pathshala concept in Gurgaon, where 400 labor kids are being taught. And we said that, okay, Saturday we will bring food, healthy stuff, juices, fruits, for kids as a motivation, and that went on. Now, that's the first layer of our Khilai, where it is about food. The second layer is about ration. The third layer is about, for this school where we're talking 400 kids, we funded the entire 1 year stationery, some 13,000 notebooks, 5,000 sharpeners, so that the school owner did not have to go for fine stationaries. Then we realized that let's do blanket drives every winters. So we order 500 blankets every winters, and we go with a group of volunteers outside on the road at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we find out people who need blankets, and we distribute blankets to them. Then Kerala floods happen, and we said that we must do something for Kerala floods. So we've set up the entire supply chain, and we funded some 5,000 undergarments for women and kids, and more than 1,000 kgs of ration for Kerala. I did something for Nepal earthquake, Pathankot fighting. So by doing so, we realized that, you know, yes, Earth Saviors Foundation, we work with them also. By doing so, I realized that, giving food becomes an opportunity for people to connect. It has a benefit because people are served. But our Khilai at this point of time is just not about food. We get a call at 12 o'clock in the night, 10 o'clock in the morning, and कोई हमको बोलता है कि मैं कलकत्ता में हूँ, चेन्नई में हूँ, बैंगलोर में हूँ, मोंगानगर में हूँ, and मुझे खाना चाहिए. We set up the supply chain. We find out our volunteers, we find out the ration shop, and we tell them that you go and give them the ration, obviously after doing diligence. But that's how the journey of Ao Khilai has been. We've raised funds for medical treatment, we've raised funds for blankets, we've raised funds for stationery, we've raised funds for mass food drives, and yes, not even a Sunday has been missed where food has not been served in those orphanages. Only now, because we don't want our volunteers to be at risk, we've stopped it. But right now, we are giving ration. In my Bangalore chapter, which is led by a very close friend, Nirupama, we said that an orphanage there required some adult diapers for kids. So we committed that we will fund the entire quota of a year, 32,000 adult diapers. We've delivered about 18 to 20,000 adult diapers already. Hence, these projects keep helping us, keep sustaining us, and that is exactly what Ao Khilai now has become.
Awesome. Kudos to you and your team, Ankit.